What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to my builds guide and unit review of Khadein Soren. And at the end I'll also have a special bonus segment because Soren definitely deserves that. So Khadein Soren is a blue infantry mage with Magical Lantern Plus as the inheritable weapon. This inheritable weapon is actually pretty amazing because it does give him the unhindered movement status and also the special charges status per attack. So we have seen the unhindered movement status on pretty much all of the units from the Khadein banner, and we have seen the special charges status on Na and Fallen Ninian for example. So this does allow him to easily trigger Iceberg, Glacies, and all of these high cooldown specials and make use of his resistance productively. And then finally with this weapon he's able to get +5 attack and resistance in the combat. So this is going to be a pretty solid inheritable weapon that he can provide, and he also has Infantry Breath as a new skill into the Grail pool. But when it comes to his stat spread, it's not going to be too impressive. He does have base 43 attack and base 45 resistance, but his speed is pretty awkward at base 34, and he can basically be considered like a better Ilyana essentially, who does take Grails to +10 merge, but does take a lot less Dragon Flowers. So as you can see here, he has got pretty much the same speed stat as Ilyana, a bit better resistance, and a bit better attack. When comparing to Tatiana, she is going to be having a bit more speed, but it doesn't really matter too much because it's just 2 points of extra speed, while Soren has got a bit more resistance and attack to make up for it. So he is going to be definitely one of those mages who is going to be waiting for the Arcane Blue Tome, because ultimately that is going to be really helpful to a stat line like this. And if the Arcane Tome turns out to have some kind of true damage based on resistance, or provides damage reduction based on resistance, then I think that is going to be the best case scenario for Soren. And if it does provide him the guaranteed follow-up attack, then that is going to be the best thing, because right now he doesn't really have the speed to double a lot of the targets, because right out of the box we have got units with like base 45, base 46 speed, so it can be pretty hard for him, and null follow-up is of course going to be a pretty annoying thing. His weapon is definitely going to be a lot more influential for the cavalry blue mages like Valentine Veronica and Lara Shell, because these are cavalry units which are affected by the trenches, and the unhindered movement status is going to be helping them a lot. And at the same time they can use the high cooldown specials like Dragon Fang and Glacies. And this can also help a more bulky enemy phase blue infantry mage like Sonia for example, so that she can retaliate back with icebergs and basically, function in the enemy phase. So this is going to be a really good inheritable weapon for many of the units, especially for the blue mage cavalry units. Overall, this is the kind of unit that you build up if you're a big fan of Soren, because he does have high attack and high resistance, and does have inheritable weapon which can make use of it, but having no preferred weapon is definitely not that good, and he will have to depend on the Arcane Blue Tome. And depending on how the Arcane Blue Tome is, either he's going to be aging really well because of his stat spread, or he is going to be stuck there with like Arcane Downfall type of weapon where it is only made for like speedy type of units. So because of his awkward stat distribution, he's not going to be the fastest unit, and he will have to rely on quick repose to double, and he is going to be susceptible to the null follow-up effects. But if you do want to build up Soren despite that, then you can just build him up for a budget build with guard and reposition in the assist, and you can just refine his weapon for more resistance and run quick repose Sacred Seal. So like I said before, he will have to depend on quick repose for doubling, and this is a build that he could use in the Tempest Trial because he's going to be one of the bonus units. But if you want to invest a bit more into him, then I would suggest waiting for the Arcane Blue Tome. But if the Arcane Blue Tome is definitely not something you want to invest in, or if you just want to invest into Soren with the premium skills, then you can definitely run Attack Resistance Unity from the Divine Codes and run him with Quick Repose 4 and Attack Smoke 4. So this is going to be providing you with the Omni Breaker effect essentially, because Attack Smoke 4 is going to be providing you with the follow-up negation, and Quick Repose 4 does give you the damage reduction, which is definitely pretty amazing for dealing with many of the mages and especially the physical threats, because he doesn't really have the highest physical bulk, and then he can trigger Glacies on his double attack. But the null follow-up opponents are going to be able to stop his follow-up attack, so if you want to make it so that he can immediately retaliate back with Iceberg, then you can definitely run Time Pulse 4 so that Iceberg becomes a 2 cooldown special, and then with the special charges status of his weapon, he's able to immediately retaliate back with Iceberg. You can even run Attack Rest Tempo actually if you want to, but Quick Repose 4 could also be run just to make sure that he can double, because many of the times mages are not going to be dying immediately to him, so that's why you could definitely try and run this. And you can also run him with Special Spiral 4 so that he can pierce through the damage reduction and just retaliate back with Iglesias, which is going to be doing a lot of damage with his resistance. So here we do not really have any kind of quick repose, but Iglesias is going to be doing a lot of damage, especially with the finish kill, which is pretty much one of the best options with his slot A, because it does have really good synergy with the special charges status, which he can get. You can also give him attack res finish 4 with the Omnibreaker build, and that is going to be the end game high investment build for Soren with this kind of weapon. And if you do want to make work out of his speed, then you could run a more speedy Soren who could reach over 70 speed. So Drifting Grace is going to be the go-to weapon here from the Divine Codes. And you can just run attack speed finish 4, attack speed oath 4, and also null follow up. Now, even though 70 speed might seem a lot, it's not that a lot in the metagame right now. A lot of mages, a lot of threats just reach 70 plus speed like after their first merge. So it's definitely going to be helping him, but it's not going to be like he's going to be outspeeding every and anything. So you have to again depend on the Arcane Blue Tome at the end of the day if you're going to be investing extremely heavily into him. Now, in my opinion, Soren kind of got done dirty. He should have been given a preferred weapon when all of the other units from the Khadein banner also have a preferred weapon, and he could have been a much better unit if they just kind of, put some of the points from his resistance into his speed. So this is my theory craft if Soren was improved, and I would basically make Magical Lantern into a preferred weapon, which can give him +3 speed. So he would still get the unhindered movement status and the special charges status, but now in the combat he can get +5 to all of his stats, and also gets the half tempo effect, aka the Null Guard, which actually has amazing synergy with the special cooldown charge status that he can get. And I would also fix his stat spread and put some of the points from his resistance into his speed. So he is going to be having base 40 speed, which is not really insane, but still it is a lot more workable than base 34. And I would just give him attack speed finish 3, because this is the perfect opportunity to give a unit a finish kill, especially when they have the special cooldown charge status. And this is also going to be helping people who are trying to fodder off like Desert Nino for her Time Pulse 4, and they can also inherit the tier 4 version of the finish kill. It's really painful to see for me that people are foddering Nino and they cannot even get the tier 4 version of the finish kill. So this is what I would personally do. So let me know what do you think about this kind of Soren. I've only made some changes, but these few changes can make him a much better unit in my opinion. So I will be eager to hear your opinion and feedback in the comments, and make sure to share this video with your friends who are trying to build up Khadein Soren. And if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps you tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member down below as well. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because expecting YouTube sub boxes to work is like expecting preferred weapons on Tempest Trial units who are not beast units. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.